You. You have been chosen. This is your time. You can be successful. Listen, today in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to jump into the Snappic software and create an event for your new DSLR photo booth. This has been a common question, so I'm going to address it, and I'm going to take you guys step by step, just like I've done in the past with 360 booth events. Let's go ahead and jump into it right now. And by the way, I know some of you guys don't use Snappic, but that's okay. In the link below, there's going to be, I said link below, in the comment box below, there's going to be a link that's going to give you a 7-day free trial if you want to try Snappic. If you guys are using Luma Booth or TouchPics, give me some time and I'll try to get to it and give you guys a tutorial as well. But I'm sticking with Snappic right now, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into it right now. If you guys don't have Snappic, this isn't the video for you, and I don't want to waste your time. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So step by step, we're going to do this together. We're going to go to the right side right here where it says create an event. We're going to create our first event together. This is going to be for a photo booth using a DSLR camera. I'm going to go to new plain event down here. We're just going to keep it simple. We'll do two things. We'll do photo and we'll do GIFs, because when you guys have a DSLR photo booth, the GIFs come out magnificent, and you guys will be able to tell on your tryout in the comfort of your own home. So that's going to be a really cool part right there. Photos are going to come out 10 times better than they were on your iPad cameras. So I'm going to go next right here. I'm going to call this one a DSLR tutorial. Okay, and we're going to start it right now. So start event, meaning when you want to start the event, always start it immediately so you can start troubleshooting right away. And then event date is going to be when your event ends. You always want to do it a few hours after your actual event ends. Or if you guys are going to sit at home and practice throughout the entire week, you can push this out further out so that this event remains open for an entire 5 days if you guys needed to. And I'm going to go to next right over here. Event options. So this is going to be the section where you are going to be able to send your clients their photo either via text, through email, airdrop, QR, and if you guys are going to be using a printer, we'll go ahead and select printer right here. When I go to events, more like when the photo booth attendants are out and about and I set up their event here on Snappic, what I usually do is I have all these checked except email. I don't have email as an option unless it's a corporate party or a company who wants to collect emails, and we can ask the client, do you want to do any data capture? And so sometimes they don't even realize that they have that option. So now you're providing a production, but also a data capture feature / plan that you can even upsell if you wanted to. But from here, what you're going to do next is you're going to scroll down and we're going to just set up a password, and it's going to be all ones for me. And then I'm going to hit next. So because we selected the printer, this is really nice. So limit number of prints per session, meaning that for every photo that gets taken, say you and I walk up to the booth, we hit start, it gives us a timer, and then it takes a photo of us. It's asking how many photos would you like us to max out at? So I leave this disabled because I offer my clients unlimited prints. And so if you guys wanted a photo to come out automatically after every session, then you guys will go to enable auto print. So this I leave on disabled. Next. Right here, this text messaging, don't let all this right here scare you. So when they get a text message, the text message is going to say, here's your photo, and it's going to give them a link where they can download their photo. But there's 101 characters left. So what I like doing is I like including our Google Business Profile link in here so that they can receive our Google link profile and also their actual link to their photo. So this allows me to get more reviews per event right there. That's a golden nugget. Not a lot of folks do that, but That's one strategy that I use. So then we're going to go to next. Now, photo template chooser. You guys can come over to template library and you guys can see that there are these existing templates that you guys can use. Okay. Now in the beginning, you might play with the 6x4 or the 6x4 with 2 frames in the inside. But as you get a little bit more advanced into customization, you're going to go to create new template. So I use a program here, and I'm going to cancel out of here. I use a program called Photobooth Talk, and I'll show you guys the link at the bottom. And what that is it allows the clients, and I'll show you guys my website right here. It allows the client to go onto my website and click photo templates. And now they're going to have access to all these templates. So they can pick from, I want to say, hundreds of different templates. And then when they select, say, for example, they select this template right here. Then what the client now can do is they can enter their name, their phone number, and if it's a company, they can load up their logo. So they can upload an attachment. And then it says, what would you like the wording to be? So the client would say, instead of it saying Rosalita and Giovanni, it'll say Jacob and Jane, right? Or it'll give me special instructions, and then it'll go to confirm selection. And then my designer, my creative, Diana, she'll start working on that gallery for them and then send it to them via text message for approval. So this takes a bunch of time from me coming up with this beautiful overlay, or from my creative starting from scratch. So I'll put the link in the description box below so that you guys have this option and make life easier for your clients, and also make life a lot easier for you. If you guys are a 360 booth company or offer a 360 booth production, notice that I have 360 overlay design as well. So the same company with the same membership also gives me access to a bunch of different overlays for 360s. So this is how I was able to start scaling my business, by implementing these types of tools that make my workflow a lot better. And so just wanted to show you that part. But since a lot of folks are not at this place in their business yet, and you're barely getting started, I don't want to overwhelm you with the website and all this stuff right here. So we're just going to go old school, and I'm going to pretend I'm starting off, and we're going to go with Canva. All right. So with Canva, we want to get the dimensions, and that's 6x4. So say, for example, you go to Canva and you type in, you can actually just go here, for example. I want to start from scratch, just because I'm assuming that you guys will be starting from scratch. Say I type in 6x4 here. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and click, I'll just click this one. It's a pro. And I'm going to go to customize template. What you guys can do is you can wipe this out completely, just like that. And then right over here where it says resize, we can change the dimensions where it says custom size. So what you guys would want is 1200 by 1800, and then continue, resize the design. This is going to give you the 6x4, but it's going to give it to you in portrait mode. You see that? So that's if your client decides, I want a picture in portrait mode. Most people want a photo in landscape mode, horizontal. So then we would come back over to custom size, and we would flip these numbers around. And so we would do 1800 by 1200, like that. And then we would hit continue and resize. Cool. And so now what I would do is, if I was getting ready to make an overlay, I know that this is how much space I have to work with. You guys can get creative. For example, like say I grab this one, right? Now I'll click on this one. And there's some things that I like about this one, and there's some things that I don't. So if I click on this one and I hit delete, it just deleted that entire border. Now I'm left with these little polka dots. What I can do too is I can leave the congratulations right in there, like, but I'll shrink it a little bit, just like that. And then I'll remove this, and then I'll change the wording to you did it, like that. And in this photo, I can remove it just like that. I can remove that as well too. And I can actually leave that on there, because I'm going to show you something that's super cool. So say, for example, okay, I'm done. This is going to be a really cool overlay. What I'll do next is I'll go to share, and I'll go to download, but I'm gonna make sure it says 1800 by 1200. And I'm gonna download this now, okay? So now that it's downloading, we're gonna come over right back into Snappic right here. And I'm gonna hit done. But now that we're in Snappic, I'm gonna go where it says create new template. So we're gonna go to create new template. And remember the sizes, guys? What was the size? That's right. It was 1200 by 1800, right? Am I right? So 1200 by 1800? No, we're wrong. It was 1800 by 1200. So then all we have to do is come right back in here and go to 1800 by 1200 right there. And you see that? Okay, so check this out. Now we're gonna upload our background since we already have the background that we just created. And I'm gonna go to downloads and select that one right here. It's right here, look at 1800 by 1200. So it's uploading and boom, there it is. Now you're probably wondering, why exactly do we have a big piece of gold in the middle? Here's the cool part. We're gonna come over to add frame and we can resize this frame like this. See that? And then extend it here, stretch it out like that. And now the photo, when the photo is taken, their photo is gonna show up right in there, right? You can center it if you want. So this is just one example. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit save, and then I'm just gonna put save. I'm just gonna name the layout and then hit save as well. So once you hit save, what's gonna happen next, it's a single overlay. And you guys can see now that when you guys activate the event, this will be your overlay just like you see it here. And it actually shows you the orientation of the frame. So if you go to edit, you can see more or less, right? This is how it's gonna look like. Now, really quick, guys, I want you to note that you can actually show the overlay preview. So when they're taking that photo and it's giving them the countdown, it'll show them within the photo so that they know that they're in frame. So I'm gonna hit save with show overlay, okay? So congratulations, we just made it through, I would say, probably the most complex part of Snappic, and that's to create your own overlay, but we did it in a few seconds. So now that we created this, we're actually gonna come over where it says next, and then we can come up. See, the thing with Snappic is it's going to give you options for an attract screen. So your iPad is going to look like this, but you can actually add an attract screen and you can go into their library. So if I come right over here where it says attract screen, it'll say attract screen library. So Snappic already has built-in attract screen. So if I click on attract screen library right here, this is what the iPad is going to show. Now, say for example, you're doing graduation parties. If you hover over to graduation right over here, it'll give you a few attract screens that say congratulations. See that? I'll go ahead and select this one right here. So this is how your iPad's going to look. Okay, so we'll stay with that attract screen right there just because I like that. Now we're going to hit next. And right here, don't do anything, just hit next right over here. The QR code will stay the same. Now remember guys, we selected GIF as well. Well, what we can do is a couple of things. So this is where I feel like there should be a different workflow, but it is what it is. And so first of all, you don't want to enable burst. If you have a DSLR photo booth, you don't want to enable burst because it'll automatically toggle the setting to the iPad and then it'll mess up the settings since you already have it connected to a DSLR. So we're going to uncheck enable burst and then we're going to disable GIF printing. By the way, if you guys don't disable GIF printing, it'll print the first photo of the GIF, but I'm going to go disable. That way they can send it directly to your social media and they can post it immediately. And so when it comes to the GIF animation, I'm going to go to create new template. And we're going to do the same thing, 1800 by 1200. And then we're going to upload the background we did earlier. And then we're going to add that frame again, just like earlier. But this time, I can actually make it a different size. You see that? How I can size it however I want. And I'm okay with that. You can even make it a little bit more square if you wanted to. Oh, well, I'll just do like that for the sake of the video. And then I'm going to hit save. By the way, since we're actually in this section right now, if you guys decide to have, not for the GIF, but for the photos, if you guys want to have two different frames so people can have two poses within one photo, all you have to do is have this one, and then you can either duplicate this one to be the same exact size. If you guys come over to duplicate frame right here, yeah, it won't allow me to do it on this one because this one's a GIF. But on the previous one that we did together for the still photo, if you guys come over to duplicate, it'll duplicate this exact frame, same exact size. And you can put it here, and then the other one can go right over here. But since this is a GIF, it only gives us the option to do the one frame. So we'll go ahead and roll with that. No biggie. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right in there. Make it a little wider, just a little bit, like that. And then hit save. And I'm going to type in gold. All right. So now we have our GIF, but there's a difference that I want you guys to see. It's going to prompt you to say, how many frames do you want? What it's asking you is, how many poses do you want us to collect? So I want the person to have the option to pose 4 different times. So I'm going to hit the number 4, and then there's going to be a countdown per capture for that GIF session. So basically, I am in front of the camera, and now it's going to take a photo of me. And so the interval countdown is when it takes that photo of me, it's going to be 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's going to take another photo until it takes a total of 4 photos. It's fun when you use 4 seconds, because if it's a larger group, they all scramble around and pose for the photo. That's a really fun part, especially because they can never get it super right. And that's what makes a photo fun, because they don't know how the photo is going to come out. So 4 for me is the sweet spot. The playback speed, I always do the two that I use is slow and medium. I don't use fast or super fast. It's just gonna be slow or medium. So for this one, we're gonna do medium, and then show overlay preview. So this is the same thing as I mentioned earlier. It'll show you where you fall in within that frame. And this I'll leave unchecked. I don't need the mirror live view. That's fine. I'll just show the overlay preview, and then I'm gonna go to done. All right, good job, guys. We're just gonna hit next. And check this out. When we go to create event, we're about 16 minutes in, success. What does this mean? That means that your event now is successfully created. Now we can actually walk over to the iPad, which I'm going to go from this laptop onto my phone, and I'm going to show you guys how to connect your first, how to launch your event on your iPad using the application, and then how to connect the camera. And we'll try this event together. We'll do a photo and we'll do a GIF together. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, let's walk over to, we'll use this one here. We'll use this iPad. And so when you guys are barely starting your event, it's gonna look a little something like this. Okay, so the event that we created just populated right here when I hit refresh. So we're gonna go ahead and select that one we made together, which is DSLR tutorial. Next thing you'll notice is this, this interface. So we're gonna be using the DSLR camera in there. So the first thing we wanna do is we wanna come over to configure camera, and we wanna select the camera there. So that, keep in mind, guys, the camera is already connected to the iPad through the cables. So as you guys can see here, the camera knows that it's communicating with the iPad. I'm using an Acasis, so the iPad is connected to the Acasis, and the camera cable that's running down here is also connected to the Acasis, and the Acasis, which is consider it the hub, is also connected to a power source, so it's also charging my iPad. And then the dummy battery here on the camera is connected to the strip. It's right here. This is the dummy battery right here. All right. So I just wanted to show you this part. And as you guys can see, Mr. Professional it's a very, very clean setup. This cable right here is the cable that goes connected to the flash up there. And I think that I've seen other photo booths from the inside, especially DSLR booth, and there's a lot going on inside. Right here, I try to simplify things as much as possible to help my photo booth attendants know the dilly. I even put flash camera light so they know that this cable goes to the flash right over there. All right, so now that that's complete, we'll go ahead and hit R100. Now, you guys might come across an issue where you don't see the camera populate. If you guys don't see your camera populate, all you have to do is come around and make sure you, here, I'll show you how that would look. And sometimes it's a little daunting. So for example, like say you do this step right here, go to configure camera, and you don't see your actual camera, then go and turn on your camera or power cycle your camera. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. And there, it's showing now. So I'm gonna go to R100. Okay, the next thing you guys wanna do would be is configure the printer. Right now, I don't have the printer out here right now, so I'm gonna make a video specifically on the printer setup because that part is going to be like probably a good 10 minutes of walking you through the right steps so you guys don't feel lost. So for now, we're just gonna troubleshoot with the camera and digital files. And then in the next video, and if you guys really, really want the next video, I have one of the printers right there. If you guys really want a printer on how to set up, if you guys really want a printer, everyone really wants a printer. If you guys want a video specifically on how to set up the printer, I already made a video like that and it got a ton of views. But if you guys want me to make a new fresh video, go ahead and let me know in the comments box below. All right. So now we're going to go to Start Booth, and it's loading up those settings that we set up on our laptop. Okay. And there's us, there's me. So when you come over to image, you guys will see that you have different options as far as ISO, because keep in mind the camera settings are set to manual. That's what you want. You want manual settings because you'll have access to this and you'll be able to manipulate the settings. So right now the ISO is set to 200 and the aperture set to 4.5 and the shutter speed is set to 1/160. If it's going to be a larger group of people taking photos, you will always want your aperture to be a little over 6. So I'm going to go to 6.3. That way, if there's someone slightly in front of me and someone slightly behind me, all of our faces are still coming out focused and not too blurry. This is how you're able to get clearer pictures with the aperture. Now the ISO is at 200 and the shutter speed is at 1/160. So I'm going to leave it like that for right now. And I'm going to go to Start Booth and we'll make changes if needed. You guys remember that attract screen that we selected? There it is. You know, let me do this because quite honestly, Mr. Professional is asking me to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. There we go. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Let's change the color up a little bit though. Let me see. We'll do this color. Okay. Now it looks super clean. Look at this. So that's the attract screen we selected earlier. I'm going to go to tap start and we're going to be presented with this menu. Remember guys, we selected a still. So there I am. There's the still right there. So what I could do now is hit tap start and back up. It's going to give me that countdown and pose for the photo. And as you guys can see, the photo came out really good. In fact, that photo came out really, really good. I don't think I need to mess with the settings. On the phone, it looks a little different, but here in person, the lighting came out really good. And remember guys, we can text message it, we can airdrop it, or we can do the QR code. Now, if we had the printer synchronized to it, it'll give us the option to print. But right now, we're just gonna focus on this digital stuff. So now I can text message it, right? I can send it to my phone, but I'm using my phone to record this video, or I can airdrop it too, all right? So congratulations, we now took a successful photo, and now we can go to tap to finish. Now, let's say, for example, we took that photo, and that photo was a little too dark. What we can do next is we can take 3 fingers and swipe up like this, and then go to image, and then we can bump up the ISO from 200 to 250 if we want the picture to come out a little brighter. So then we'll go to start. Yep, and the picture came out just a little brighter. And I love how that backdrop, which is back here, has that like light coming down. It looks really realistic on the actual photo. So, okay, so there's the still photo. I'm gonna go to skip now. And then we're gonna go now to that GIF, all right? So now we're gonna do the GIF. I like the GIFs a lot, especially like we're using a DSLR camera, so it comes out really good. So I'm gonna go to tap to start. And remember guys, it's gonna be 4 poses, right? So this is gonna be 1 pose, and where I'm standing right now in these comfy shoes, if I stand further back, then the further back that I go, the darker it's gonna get because I'm further away from the flashlight. So if I get really close now, like super close like this, you'll see that in the photo, I'll come out a little brighter. So that's one thing you guys wanna keep in mind. And last one, good. So now you guys can see the playback right there. And this is, like I said, these GIFs are super high quality. And so there you guys have it. Now, if you guys are not getting enough flash power, then what you want to do is you want to make this number smaller. So the higher the number, the lower the number, the more flash you're going to get. The higher the number, and it's going to go through like 256, I think it is. No, it doesn't. It goes to 32. The less power. So just keep in mind, the smaller the number, the more power you're gonna get, okay? And I'm using a Godox MS300. And this is a beautiful, beautiful setup. Right over here, I have an Explorer, the white umbrella. This is a setup that's slightly different. Using a different lens as well. So this video, I knew I had to put together this video for you guys just because the amount of questions revolving around setting up for your new DSLR booth with Mr. Professional. So I hope you guys found this video useful and helpful. And I know that you guys are gonna have new questions come up, and that's cool. Post your questions in the comment box below. For every Mr. Professional owner, I'm gonna create a private group where we can go in there and share ideas. And this just like really focus on the business and some things that I'm doing right now that I feel are going to be really beneficial. So if you guys are watching this and you guys own a Mr. Professional booth, I want you guys to visit your asset folder weekly, because I'm constantly updating videos and images for you to use for your business to market, okay? So I'm just trying to help you guys out as much as possible. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.